Hello everyone, today I'm going to be going over something that is often overlooked, but that's actually really important when it comes to flying drones, and that is batteries. It seems simple, you charge it, you discharge it, you recharge it, you just keep doing that over and over again. But when it comes down to it, these are lithium batteries, they are dangerous, and you need to know how to use them, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use them safely and also how to make them last the longest, because they aren't cheap by any means. Most of them cost around $100 or more, so you want to make sure that you make them last as long as you can and get the most out of them. So let's get right into this video. Okay, so kicking things off here in no particular order, we're going to start with do not charge your batteries immediately after flight. So your batteries need time to cool off. When you're charging, they create heat. When you're flying, they create heat. If it's a hot day, well, they're hot. And when you bring them in and start charging them while they're still hot, it's going to create more heat while you're charging, and that is a bad mix because lithium batteries, if they overheat, can catch fire and burn your house down. So you may want to put them in a, for one, fireproof bag, which you can buy. They are for charging or storing these batteries, and they are very helpful, especially if you're not going to be around right where it is charging, although I do recommend always being near wherever the battery is charging, because it's kind of dangerous because these things, like I said, can catch fire. But by letting them cool off after flight or after a hot day, you are reducing the chances of a fire and also increasing the lifetime of your batteries, as they aren't going to get super hot while they're charging. On to tip number 2, and this is kind of the opposite of tip number 1, and that is to wait for your batteries to warm up prior to charging them if it's below 0 degrees Celsius when you're flying. And this is for a multitude of reasons, one being that these do not work as well when they are cold. They slow down a lot, the cells, so when you plug it in and it gets hot, it's just going to, for one, create condensation, and two, reduce the lifetime of your batteries. But like I said, condensation, that is not good. You do not want to mix water with batteries. So to reduce the likelihood of having all this condensation if it's cold out and you've been flying, you can actually put it into your garage or somewhere, maybe a mud room, and let it warm up to however warm it is there, which is probably not as warm as your super hot house, but not super cold like it is outside. And then once it's warmed up to about the temperature in there, then you bring it inside, and then it's gradually increasing its temperature, and you're not going to get all that condensation. Moving on to tip number 3, and this is for storage. You want to store batteries at a 50% charge. And I know what you're thinking, like, what the heck? How am I supposed to get it to 50%? Most drones with smart batteries have the option to go right into your settings and choose how long you want it to take to get to that percentage. So I usually choose about 5 or 6 days. So if I don't end up using my battery after I've charged it, which I try not to do, it will just stay at 50% once it gets there. But if you are going to store your batteries, I would recommend storing them in a cool, dry spot, and preferably in a LiPo battery bag that is fireproof. On to tip number 4, and that is not to pre-charge your batteries too soon. We all do it. We either completely forget to charge our batteries at all, or we charge them at breakfast and don't use them till after dinner. That is a problem. You want to make sure that you're using your batteries after charging them. Let them cool off a bit and then go fly. Preferably a few hours after charging is the sweet spot, but if we're talking days between charging and using, that is a problem, and it's really going to decrease the lifetime of your batteries. On to tip number 5, and this is for actually once you get your drone in the air, and that is to make sure that you don't let your battery get too low before landing. Most drones have the ability to put in a certain percent when your drone will return to home, and pretty much just give you a warning to let you know that you're getting down there on your battery. And most of the time people set this from anywhere from 30 down to all the way to maybe 10%, and that's a problem if you're anywhere below 25%. Because preferably you want your drone on the ground at 20%, but even better 25%, just because when you get your batteries down super low every single time, it is really going to decrease the longevity of your battery. So if you're getting down into those single digits, that is a problem if it's happening more than here and there if you accidentally get into a headwind coming home. So make sure that you have your battery percentage for return to home set to a high enough number that you're going to get your drone home above 20%, preferably around 25%. Moving on to tip number 6, and this is one that I don't know too many people think about, but it's just know when you need to replace a battery. Just like any other battery in your phone, your computer, anything, eventually these things will die. No matter how much time and energy you put into taking care of them, eventually they are going to call it quits. And that's when you need to know what to do. You need to know when one of your batteries is done. If you're getting low voltage warnings on your controller, your drone just isn't lasting as long with the certain batteries compared to the other ones, and it's noticeable, eventually you are going to want to switch these out. I would rather pay $100 to get a new battery rather than paying over $1,000 for a new drone just because I didn't replace my battery when I needed to. Well, with all that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a little tips guide to make sure that you are using your drone batteries properly and safely and getting the most out of these because, like I said, they're expensive. They're really expensive, actually. So, happy flying, everyone. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.